Good morning, grade 4. Hope you all fine. Today we're going to complete what we started before, which was talking about stopping and moving and so on. So today we're going to talk about making things move. So, can air move objects? Actually, the answer is yes. Air can produce a force that causes objects to move. And there's some engineers tried to prove that air causes motion. So actually they do a very interesting experiment using extinguisher. They strapped or fixed fire extinguisher into a cord instead of waiting for the wind to blow. And when they release air from the fire extinguisher, that cord begins to roll and trash moves forward. And that's mean air can make objects move a distance from one place to another, as we can see here in this picture. So by increasing the number of fire extinguisher, the air released increases. So this is causing the car to speed increase and the motion increase. And that's mean air causing motion of some object. So if you want to know how object can move, actually we can say this. Object can move by two kind of forces, pull and push. Pull and push. So there are two forces that causes object to move, which are pull and push. You can see this. All objects around us cannot move without push or pull. As we can see here in this picture, there is pull and push objects. So this is causing this object to move. So push and pull forces help object to move. So if I wanted to make a chair change its position, so I have to push the chair. I have to push the chair. If you want to pass the pole for your friend, so you have to push the pole. Let's talk about another thing called the balanced and unbalanced forces. So, balanced and unbalanced. If we have here two teams are pulling the rope with equal forces, the meaning equal forces means the same force. So if I have on one side 3 people, so I need 3 people in the other side. This is called equal, okay? So the forces that act on the rope is balanced, and the rope will never ever move because we have balanced force, which means, for example, 3 persons and 3 persons. In this image, we have only one person in one side and the other sides have 4 persons. So do you think this is balanced? Of course not. This is not balanced. This is not balanced. The other picture we have here, we have 2 boxes, each one of them with 500 grams. So when both of them were equal, 500 and 500, this is called a balanced force. But when I make one of them reach 700, this is called unbalanced force. If one team is pulling the rope with greater force, so the forces that act on the rope is unbalanced, and the rope will move toward the team with the greater force. So as we can see here in this picture, we have a team consists of 4 members. So and the other team consists of only 1 member. So this is unbalanced force because not the same number of members, and also this is not the same amount of force. So the team which has greater force will win because the rope will move toward them. So, unbalanced force causing one team to win, which has greater force. From this, if there are balanced forces act on an object, so this object will never ever move. So what if I have unbalanced force? If I have unbalanced forces act on an object, this object will move. And this movement going to greater or the most powerful force. So how do we know an object is moving? If this object change its position from one point to another point. So I can define motion. It's any change in the position of an object relative to a fixed point. So if I have object that change position or moves for a distance, I call this as a motion, okay? So that's great. So any change in position of an object relative to a fixed point, we call it as a motion. So now we're going to talk about something called gravity. So the gravity is a kind of force that pulls object toward the center of Earth. So the reason why we cannot fly is that because of this gravity. This gravity attracts us to the center of Earth, pull us to the center of Earth, force us to move in the land or ground. So in the space, there is no gravity, so you can't fly. So the reason why this pole, for example, attracted to the Earth or bouncing to the ground, not still in the air, is gravity. So the gravity is the force that pulls the object toward the center of Earth, okay? So this pull attracted to the center of Earth, that's why it's bouncing to the ground. Actually, some motions is easy to see, such as a person moving, for example, or a leaf blowing in the wind, or maybe a pole traveling through. So, some motions is easily to see, such as what? A person walk, or a leaf blowing in the wind, or a pole traveling through the air after it is thrown out. Some motions is hard to see, such as what? Like what we can see here. We never ever can see the planet revolves around the sun. The rotation of Earth around the sun, you cannot feel it and you cannot see it. But still we have a motion like this. And any object is in motion if this position of the object changes. So the condition we have here to call an object and this object moving is that object change the position. Even if this change cannot be seen, as we said before, we have rotation of Earth around the sun and we cannot see it, but it still is motion. So any object is in motion if the position of the object changes, even if this change cannot be seen or you cannot feel it. So, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.